Pre-tribulation proponents often quote that the reason we will be raptured before the Great Tribulation is we are not the objects of God's wrath to come. And with movies like Left Behind and books in abundance implying a pre-tribulation rapture, it is no wonder why pretribbers are emotionally vested in a defense of a pre-tribulation rapture. Did you know that the pre-tribulation doctrine was not embraced by the first generation church, but became popular starting in 1830 by Margaret MacDonald and John Darby? While the church is not the object of God's wrath, this does not mean that the church will not be present when God executes his wrath upon the earth. God's wrath must be totally distinguished from persecution executed by the Antichrist. Being kept from the wrath of God to come does not explicitly mean we are raptured out of the world. Again, pre-tribbers reading into the text. God can protect his own like he did before. Noah built an ark and was not raptured out of the earth, but was still kept by God. The Israelites were present during the 10 plagues of Egypt, but were kept safe by God. Also this by Jesus in John 17 verse 15, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but thou shouldest keep them from the evil. Pastor John MacArthur's claim that the rapture is an unsigned event is an argument that seems like a way to inoculate the pre-tribulation rapture teaching from the proper scrutiny it deserves.
Rapture of the church, that's an unsigned event. In other words, there's no sign preliminary to that event. That's an unsigned event. That's an unsigned event.
Calling the rapture an unsigned event does at least two things. One, it serves to distinguish the rapture from the second coming of Christ. And two, if it is an unsigned event, then there wouldn't be any signs predicting or leading up to the rapture. But look at Luke chapter 21 verse 25 to 28. It directly contradicts the idea of an unsigned event. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. Since the Bible was not written in chapter and verses, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 is the same eschatological thought in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 it reads, For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. And then 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, 1 through 4 says, But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Clearly says that when you see these things, you know that the time is near. So we can also say that the element of surprise is to the unbeliever, not Christians. So no, the rapture of the church is not an unsigned event, and we are not the objects of God's wrath, but will still suffer persecution. Remember to like, subscribe, and click on the bell so you will never miss any episode from our channel. God bless you.